Hello, I'm back to talk about these hot guys. Uh, Going to, of course, engage the Naughty Nona fragrance so I can get the pheromones pumping. A couple of folks had said, like, what about retired players? And I said, sure, because maybe I've talked about this before. I'm sorry, I didn't like this thing that's in the way. That I'm relatively new to following basketball. And so any opportunity to kind of like learn history is very beneficial to me. History of hotness, the most interesting to me. And to anyone who feels compelled to comment, why can't you comment on people's hotness? You're not hot. I know, like that's the joke. Like I'm just like an auntie out here who wants to talk about these things and speculate about the hotness and start a conversation, because that's one thing I'm learning. Even if the vast majority of people who would care about these topics of basketball are straight men, it's still fun to talk about who's hot. it's not it's not that serious. So, okay, they're in no particular order because we're talking about a pretty vast span of time, and there's no way, like, I just don't have a exhaustive enough knowledge. So these are 10 who came to mind. Now, did I also ask ChatGPT? Sure. Like, just to see, get a different perspective from just a Google or various lists that you find. I like to use all of the hotness tools available to me. Okay, Carmelo Anthony. I don't know his game that well, but I know he has a beautiful smile. That much is undeniable. And I'm happy he's getting paid because he's in a lot of commercials, and that's how I know him mostly. So if you want to school me on his game, please do. But I'm schooling you on his beautiful smile and always very coordinated headband. Sometimes people are out here with their gear, with their arm sleeves and their leg sleeves and their headbands and their wristbands, and nothing's coordinated and drives me insane. He always the right color of headband for the job. Also, my main knowledge of him is from the stupid commercial, and I know Perk is stupid, like he has bad takes, but when he says, I don't know where the suit ends and Perk begins, is important to me. It's like a formative moment in my life. This tall drink of water, David Robinson, I was not very knowledgeable about him. He came up on some hot lists, and I mean, this looks like AI. Like, this doesn't look, not Allen Iverson, this looks like artificial intelligence going into the depths of my brain and creating a perfect man. He was very tall, but, that's sort of the thing. The basketball players are tall. And sometimes, it's just the proportions of your body are going to be hotter to one person than another. And so, like a very, lanky gentleman versus a very muscly gentleman versus a pleasant mix in between. Sometimes you can be very long and lean and leaves a little to be desired for me. But he doesn't leave anything to be desired other than his body. Now, I read some more stuff because also I was like, okay, these men that I don't know a lot about, I gotta Google it, gotta make sure that they aren't. I want to look at these guys and make sure that they are not out here being domestic abusers, being sexual assaulters. Like, I want to make sure that they're okay guys, not having child brides, things that have definitely happened in the NBA. But he actually seems to be pretty squeaky clean. Now, do I remember he played for the Spurs, I think, his whole career, which I find very wholesome, and I like that. I like people who are loyal. And I think I read something that he was like very welcoming of Tim Duncan when he came on instead of being like competitive with him. That's nice. Do I remember any of the other things that I read about him? No. But just look at the picture and you'll know everything you need to know. Grant Hill. It was hard to find a good picture of Grant Hill young, like in a uniform. Like the pictures of him were always bad, but he's very handsome. But he is one of these gentlemen who has aged into his looks. He looks really hot in present day, and the same cannot be said for a lot of these older guys. We all age. I don't look as good as I did when I was younger. But Grant Hill, he is going the other direction. And I think I put it on here, but then I didn't layer it right. He played Khadijah's boyfriend on Living Single, if you ever watched the show Living Single. And Khadijah was played by Queen Latifah. So I'm like, well, Queen Latifah's thick. So I'm like, and he was hired to play a role of her boyfriend, but it does make me like him. Like, maybe he can appreciate the girls like me and Queen Latifah. It gives him extra points, just realistically. And then okay, but like these, why is this what pictures are available of this very handsome man? Like, I would like that poster, please. Like, I'm gonna start decorating my adult bedroom like I am a 12-year-old in the, I'm not really sure what years. This would have been the heyday, early 90s maybe, late 80s. But they were not doing him any favors with his looks. JJ Redick. Okay, just forgive me. He looks like a stone cold asshole. Someone read the dolls to filth in my comments. Like, you're fat, you're ugly. But it's like, you can't say that or else like those comments will get like filtered. But someone said something like, oh, these guys would point and laugh at you on the street. I'm like, I don't know. I just have a higher opinion of like the average person's level of cruelty. And I don't think I think if I walked up to Drew Holiday on the street and said, you're a handsome hot man, he'd say, thanks, auntie, and keep it moving. If I went up to Alpern Shangoon and said, you're so cute, he'd say, thanks, ma'am. Like, he respects his elders. I would just imagine. And like, not be weird about, like, I've always had kind of a strange, like, I remember being a kid, like a little girl, and like saying a boy in our class was cute. Like, I was just like, he's objectively cute. And everyone's like, ooh, you're in love. I was like, no, like, I'm just saying he's cute. Like, I've always been very good at like compartmentalizing and like, I don't know, not making it a big thing. Like, we are all humans with bodies and we like some of them and we don't like some of them. Get over it. But I do think JJ Redick would point and laugh at me on the street. If I was like, JJ Redick, you're hot, give me a call, he'd be like, you're a disgusting cow. I don't know, he just has a real asshole vibe. And I mean, look at him when he was younger. Like, that guy, he's fat shaming. He's harassing a big girl, but I still can't argue that he's so handsome. He just seems like, and there is a part of, I think, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but the asshole is like a type, a guy that's not going to treat you great, but you like it anyway. It's not good. Don't marry that man, but hook up with him while he's, especially when because he's also kind of, I feel like he's aging in the Grant Hill direction too. Unfortunately, I think he's really fine when he's dressed up, and coaching or whatever. And I like that tattoo. I like that he's like got a drinking problem. These are all bad. This, if you are a young person watching, probably not, well, if you're a young man watching, do not behave this way. It's fine to like tap into it and be like, okay, confidence is hot, but being an actual dick might be hot in the short term, but it's not going to get you what you want long term. I don't know if he's still married. I feel like he was divorced. He has very divorced dad at the brewery on a Sunday afternoon vibes. Because he had the what was it, like End of the Dragon, Flight of the Dragon, like retirement game. So Dragage, something like that. I will look it up and I will know henceforth. But he's very fine. And he's also Slovenian. I give Luca a lot of a pass a little bit. Like, he's got the like thick, unmuscled body of a plowman in a a Slovenian farm. And Jokic has a similar body type. A few of these other big Balkan boys do. He do not. He got the long and lean body of a model. And when I saw that, like, they were doing that retirement game, I was like, who is this guy? And I was not familiar with your handsomeness game, sir. Brata. He is a hottie. I don't know anything else really about him other than he's Slovenian. He probably, if I was trying to woo him, I'd try to learn how to make cevapi and borek. And and that's one of those things. What if he loves like a babushka type? Give me a call. Okay, this one's kind of funny. Okay, Rick Fox is truly, before I started following basketball, probably the only hot basketball player I knew of. Partially because he was on an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. I've been watching Drag Race much longer than I've been watching basketball. And I remember, at the time being like, oh, these two professional athletes are on this queer drag queen competition show. Good for him. And he is a beautiful man. I don't know anything else about him. But he was on Drag Race and he's beautiful. But then John Sally was also on there. But he is impossible to find good play pictures of him. He just, I don't know, like all the pictures I take of him, he's making a goofy ass face. But when he's in movies, because he was in all the Bad Boys, and like, look at his beautiful smile. A beautiful smile is it's hard for me to not put you on the list. Never had, the best hair. He had kind of a little bit of a fade look in the 80s, but I think he eventually was just like, let's shave it. And he pulls it off. Although he does also wear a lot of hats. Magic Johnson. Of course, there's some stigma around being a person with HIV, but he got it from being such a consummate ladies' man, and I can't argue with that. He knows what he's doing. He just needed to be a little bit more careful doing it. Beautiful smile. Beautiful. Just a beautiful man. And it really helped that his arch nemesis was hideous. It really made him look hotter. What is happening in this picture that I came across? It's just Magic, some other guys from the Lakers, holding this actor whose name has escaped me, Jack Nicholson, in the awkward position I've ever seen, wearing sunglasses. Is he supposed to look like he's like an airplane? He's just holding a towel and some sunglasses. And the white guy's got to hold him from the belly. Like, I don't know who arranged this, but this is why I do the work, is so that I can see stuff like this. And then Will Chamberlain, 20,000 women. You can't argue with that. And to hit that many women, you've got to be casting a wide net. There's not 20,000 tens, He's just like, let me taste the full buffet. Also, he made up this number. Like, that's established. And, kind of regretted in hindsight making that like his whole identity, that he was a ladies' man. And he wrote that book around the time that Magic Johnson made his, diagnosis known. But it was this like weird time. If you're young, you didn't live through it. And I didn't really live through. I did not live through the AIDS epidemic. I was born in the 80s. But the aftershocks were felt for a long time afterwards of a very sex negative culture coming out of a disease that was primarily passed through sex. And so it really did make people kind of turn away from like this braggadociousness and like, you know, become more uptight for a while, which is not obviously my brand. I prefer people to be safe, of course, but also like have a good time. So Wilt, and I mean, you know, you can see it. He's like, what up? Also, very good at basketball. So I feel like truly until I started watching Basketball Hardcore, I only knew this of the 20,000 women. I did not know all the other crazy, 100-point game kind of accomplishments he had made. So I salute him for that as well. There was someone, was it David Robinson? There was someone that was like, when I was going through all of this, that he was one of the few people to have a 70 something game. You know, I can't remember. John Sally had won 3 rings with 3 different teams. It's fun. It's fun to learn things. And Dwayne Wade. How do you take a man so fine and make him so this? I went to LA and was looking at the statues there because they have Kareem and Kobe and the logo, whose name I can't think of right now, and some hockey players. They all look like normal human faces. The Dirk statue looks great. It's something about like you need to have some action going where you're kind of like your face isn't head on like this, but this is what he usually looks like. So I mean, it's actually even more offensive because he's so hot. And then to make such a crazy statue, it was like, did he like sleep with the sculptor's wife or something? I don't know quite when this was, but he still looks pretty good. Like, he's a handsome man and he loves his trans daughter. And so it's like, yes, sir, thank you for also being like a decent guy. He would probably go on Drag Race. Ooh, he should. He should be a guest host on Drag Race with his daughter. Oh, I mean, you'd get some gays watching basketball because I feel like that's what I'm out here doing. I'm just saying, watch this stuff. You can get as invested into the stats as you want to, but you've got, you know, if you have vision, you can see these hot guys, and that's a big selling point. But honestly, now that I'm really into it, I don't need to see them. I prefer to watch the game on TV, but with some regularity, I'm in the car, I'm listening to the game, and it's still really enjoyable. So it's sort of like I needed the hotness to get me in the door. Now I'm like, hungry for the full gameplay. But I think those are all my guys. Yep. So, who do you think I missed? Obviously, because I'm sure there's tons. Or just who do you like in particular? Do you remember who had the 70-point game? I could Google it, but I'm not going to. And any ideas if I should do any other videos? I was thinking once the Western Conference final matchup and the Eastern Conference matchup, I'm just going to call it a match at the same times. Once those are decided, that maybe I'll do like a hottest ranking of like which team is like in the hotness finals, like who would win in hot. Oh, that's what sounds complicated. I'm not sure how I would do it, but I would take the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, and then I would take those guys and then like crunch the hotness numbers and figure out, okay, who makes it to the finals, and then who would win the hotness bowl. We'll see. Keep aiming.